What's going on, good people of YouTube? Blue Light Bandit here today, and we're going to be looking at two different out the front automatic knives. We're going to be looking at the Benchmade Infidel, and we're going to be looking at the Microtech DIRAC Delta DE, the murdered out version. Supposedly this one's hard to find, according to one of my viewers that watched. I've got an unboxing video on this knife, and he says he's looked everywhere and can't find one. But stay tuned and we'll compare these knives. Right off the bat, we'll talk about the finish of each knife. The Microtech has a black matte finish, but it's kind of a smooth finish, where the Benchmade is a black matte, but it's hard to explain. You can probably tell by looking at it what I'm talking about. It's got more of a, or this is slick, this is grippy, and I like that. That actually reminds me of powder coating, so it might be part of the process. But that's one thing that I would keep in mind if you was looking for something to carry every day. If you want something slick, or if you want something that's got a little more grip to it, especially look at the back. There's really nothing here where the Benchmade has got this, where you can hold on to it, do whatever. Where this one doesn't have that. Small difference, but it might mean the world to somebody. Now, the biggest thing that I noticed is the action on these knives. The Benchmade is significantly easier to open and close than the Microtech. It's not because it's machined better. It's not because it fits better. It's because it's a weaker spring in this one. This one, you actually have to put some oomph behind it to open it and close it. Where this one is just really easy. Catch my point? In both of these knives, they're kind of in the same ballpark as far as price goes. That's why I'm kind of doing this comparison. The button, and you know, I was talking about this X button that Ultratech makes, where they mill that, and it takes so many hours just to make that one button. And it actually it performs better than the one on the Benchmade. You just feel like you got a better grip on it. And where it's got the heavier spring, that comes in handy. So that's one up on the Microtech. Benchmade uses what appears to be Allen screws, where the Microtech uses proprietary screws. So if that's important to you, if you want to take your knife apart, clean it, do whatever, then I would opt out for the Benchmade, because you'll have to buy a special tool to take this apart. And if you do, if I'm not mistaken, you void the warranty. Another thing that I've noticed that needs to be noted is the sharpness of the blades. The Benchmade is actually just a little bit sharper than the Microtech. Don't get me wrong, this Microtech is dangerously sharp, especially at the point. But I got to give it to the Benchmade, because Benchmade's edge is just unbelievably refined, and they done a hell of a job on sharpening this thing. So that's another plus for Benchmade. You could actually feel a little bit of a difference in the weight. There's not a lot of difference. The Microtech weighs in at 4.375 ounces, where the Benchmade comes in at almost 5. It's like 4.946. Not much difference, but there is a small difference. Lengthwise, the Microtech is a little bit longer than the Benchmade. It comes in at right at 5.5 inches, where the Benchmade is just right under 5 inches. Yeah, so it's about a 1/2 inch difference. Total thickness of the handles, I could actually tell that the Benchmade's thicker than the Microtech, and you can tell by looking at them. Just by looking, you can tell, but I can give you a measurement if you'd like. You can see how much more the belt clip sticks out too. Let's see, get a measurement for you. Okay, I'm not sure which point. We'll just go from the back of the body to the top of the button, which this is 0.72122 of an inch. Where the Ultratech is 0.653. So that's how much thinner that is than the. So as far as thinner, depends on what you want. If that's a big difference to you, then the Microtech is going to be skinnier, but it's also longer. So if weight and size is a big thing, just letting you know. Let's look at the blade, size of the blades. As far as blades go, this is, the Ultratech looks much better. I mean, it's just got a hell of a cool factor going for it. But I also noticed that it seemed to be bigger or thicker than the Benchmade. So let's break out the calipers and check that. Okay, on the Benchmade, we have the thickest point, .098 at the thickest point. On the Ultratech, .133. Notice that the blade on the Benchmade, even though it was thinner, it's a little bit longer. So with the Microtech, it comes up to 3 3/4 inches when I'm measuring just from the body up to the tip, not cutting surfaces. The Benchmade measures right, it's like 3 inches and 15/16. I mean, you might as well say 4 inches, but it's like 15/16. So you got a thinner blade on the Benchmade, but it's a little longer, and where the Microtech is a little thicker, but just a little bit shorter. So there's your dinner. As far as edge retention and blade strength and all that, I'm not going to test that. I have no way to test it. There's other YouTubers that have gone and done that. So this, I haven't cut the first thing with this, either one of these yet. So I'm just giving you my personal opinion. You know, as far as looks go, you know, I would choose this Microtech because that blade is just it's pretty badass. Yeah, that's a beautiful knife. So as far as looks go, I give that to the Microtech. As far as the Benchmade goes, if I was going to carry one, just use one all the time, it would be the Benchmade. Yeah, it's not as pretty or flashy as the Microtech is, but it's I just like the way it feels in my hand, and it is extremely sharp. So there's not a lot of, you know, and this one, it's got the glass breaker on there. I got mixed emotions about that, or mixed feelings, not really emotions. But, you know, they're both great knives. You can't go wrong with either one of them. But, you know, like I said, if it looks was the thing, then I'd get this one. But if you're going to use it, I'd probably get that one. Just my 2 cents, guys. Y'all have a great day, and thanks for watching. See ya. I forgot to mention that the Benchmade comes with a little nylon pouch that's got a molly loop on the back. You can put it on a belt or backpack or whatever you want.